We figured out that the Brewers do bleed. Yeah, they're human. And the Cubs have a couple more big games against Milwaukee to try to continue this momentum that they picked up yesterday. Owen Caissie's the future. I told you guys that. I didn't make that up. It's the bottom line. And I called out the front office. Trade this guy and don't sign Tucker. You ought to be fired. Guess what? We got both of them right now. Did the Cubs wait too long, though, to give Tucker the time off because he's injured? A lot of people are saying yes. We're going to talk about that, an international signing, and the Cubs playoff chances right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Thank you guys for being here. What a game. Now, what two games against Milwaukee? Pitching, defense, runs. The Cubs played with energy. And what I've said the whole time, get healthy and get ready for the postseason. This team can beat anyone on any given day, and they're just as good as any team out there. All right, let's get this show started, and let's talk some Cubs baseball. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball Channel. Cubs fan, 40 years. Been covering the Cubs in the organization for 20. It's not luck. It's just the fact that it's what I've done for my career. A lot of you guys have done a lot of different things. I've been around baseball, and it has been one of those things where you just see these guys come and go, and you can tell who is elite. And Owen Caissie kind of showed you a little glimpse of that in the doubleheader. I'm just glad that the Cubs are playing him, because in the Pirates series, he's sitting on the bench, and I'm going, what are we doing? He showed you what he's all about. And Owen Caissie is the future. He's the future. Him, Pete Crow Armstrong, Moises Ballesteros. It's why you build an organization. It's why you have a 40-man roster. How many times have I said that? The guy gets a chance and he delivers. He's ready, right? He did 2 years in AAA. And he's been one of the best players in every league he's ever been in. This is finally the stop for him, which is the last stop. At least I think it is. He's going to strike out. He's going to struggle. Everybody does. But you saw a glimpse of what this guy does. First game, 2-run single, home run. Second game, back at it again. Special. When the ball hits his bat, it just goes. He's just got to play his game. And I don't know how many times you say that about certain players, but I'm telling you right now, Owen Caissie is a special player. I'm just glad that we finally got a glimpse of what he brings to the table. And against the Brewers, these are all really important games. These games matter. I don't know that the Cubs are going to catch them for the division, but I don't know that they're not. Watching Kyle Tucker out there swing and ground out and not look like himself was hard. And now we're all wondering, how long has Tucker been hurt? The Brewers manager was talking about that, basically saying he thinks he's hurt. Of course he's hurt. Of course. I mean, it's obvious. He grounds out the second every time he's up. His barrel rate is awful. He's one of the best players in baseball. We've seen that. Isn't it up to the Cubs to go, hey, this guy's hurt and he needs to heal up? And don't bury Tucker. He's doing what great players do, like going out there and performing even when they're not capable of performing. And I know we booed him. Hey, run the bases. Every out matters. But at the same time, I got to take my hat off to this guy for going out there and continuing to push even when he needed to sit down and rest. You got a 40-man roster. How many times have I said that on this channel? You got a 40-man roster. The Cubs have guys in AAA that are ready to contribute. If someone's hurt, let them rest. Get ready for the postseason. The regular season is great. You just got to make the playoffs. You get to the postseason and you got to be ready to go. You want everyone healthy. You want to be hitting on all cylinders. And that's where the Cubs need to get to. And that's what I'm hoping that we see with these guys moving forward. That's what you want, right? But I think Kyle Tucker's hurt too. And I think that it's up to the Cubs to get him the help that he needs to be healthy for the end of the year. And having Owen Caissie, I'm not saying this is a Wally Pipp situation at all. I'm just saying you got Owen Caissie, let him play, like I said weeks ago, and rest Tucker and get him healthy. And maybe have both of these guys for the postseason. And maybe put your best lineup out there instead of who's paid the most. I thought that the doubleheader sweep against the Brewers yesterday was a great example, a great illustration of why you have an organization and you have organizational depth. Let those guys come in there. How about the job that Matthew Boyd did? How about the job that Jameson Taillon did? Keeping the Cubs in it. And then, obviously those guys like Owen Caissie and Pete Crow Armstrong and the team bringing in runs. Really big wins for the Cubs. And they've got to keep on rolling. The other thing I want to say is this: the Brewers bleed. When they're winning all these games and, George Webb's giving out all these burgers, even though people that grew up in Wisconsin don't even know George Webb, but they're giving away free burgers. Hey, if you guys win 12 games, everybody eats free. We don't even know who you are. But now we do because you're giving away free burgers. They're mortal. They're mortal. We talked about that before. You can win every regular season game, but when the postseason comes, 2021 Mariners or 2001 Mariners, you got to win those games. Those are the ones that matter. That's why the Cubs got to get healthy. That's why the Cubs got to be focused on what's going to happen next. The next thing that happens is you get everybody ready for the postseason. And that's what I hope that the Cubs are focused on right now. Reports are that the Cubs are going to sign international pitcher from Cuba, Ronald Lozaro Mena. He's really good. Trying to figure out how all this stuff works is always confusing. But any talent that you can get to help your organization is great. And he's one of those guys that the Cubs are targeting right now. So everybody's kind of saying, hey, he's going to be joining the Cubs organization. So good for them. Go get some talent and add some pitching, because I feel like they have not added enough pitching. And this is a guy who brings some pitching to, the organization. Playoff odds. I love looking at this. And what are the Cubs playoff odds right now after the doubleheader sweep of the Brewers? Cubs are 97.5% chance to make the playoffs, according to Fangraph. How about the Brewers? They're a 100% chance to make the playoffs. So the Cubs are 97.5. The Brewers are 100. Like, there's no way they're not making the playoffs, both of these teams. Reds are 17. Your Cardinals, I know some of you guys are Cardinals fans. You give me thumbs down every day. You guys have a 3.1% chance to make the playoffs. So give me your thumbs down. I don't care. You're going to be watching the Cubs and the Brewers play in the postseason. Cubs only a 6% chance, though, to win the division, and that's way down. But the Cubs are almost a 5% chance to win the World Series. Brewers 8.6. Dodgers still commanding 18, almost 19% to win it all. So that's where we are right now. Look, I think there's still a lot to talk about moving forward. I'm just glad that we finally got a chance to see Owen Caissie, where we put him in the lineup. Hey, we put him in the lineup 3 straight games. I don't want to see Tucker out forever. I just want to see him healthy, mentally and physically. And this guy probably should have sat out in June when he jammed his finger. And now is it that his finger's still messed up, or is that his swing's messed up? I don't know. But the bottom line is this: the Cubs are going to have Kyle Tucker if they're going to win the World Series. What do you guys think? Appreciate all the comments. You guys swinging back over and going, hey, you were right about Owen Caissie. Yeah. It wasn't a guess. And I'm not a rocket scientist. I just saw the guy play, and I've seen a ton of games, and I'm telling you, he's good. And Cade Horton being the next big thing since Pryor and Wood. It's not an accident. It's just what I do. It's like I've watched 3,000 games. I don't tab every single player coming through, a can't miss or a big time prospect, but the guys that do, just trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Go buy their baseball cards. Subscribe to this channel or challenge me in the comments section, and we'll see what happens. But there's a reason why those guys are there and they're performing. It's not because I said they were. It's because they're great and they have super talent and they're healthy and they're given opportunities. So that's what's going on right now. Guys, thank you so much for being here, though. I love the interaction with you guys. I love the fact that we get a chance to talk and watch the Cubs. I was so happy watching those games last night. It was so much fun making the plays and seeing this team kind of find itself again. But don't lose track of how important Kyle Tucker is. I've never thought that Kyle Tucker wasn't important. I just think he needs to get healthy. So keep that in mind as we move forward. You guys tell me what you think. Get in the comment section. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you for being here on the Cubs baseball channel. And we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Another big game against the Brewers. But how about that doubleheader sweep? I mean, these guys went a long time without losing a game. How about losing 2 in one day? It was a beautiful thing. But if you're going to win it all, you got to beat great teams on a daily basis. And Pat Murphy's Brewers are good. But so are the Cubs. See you tomorrow.